I'm not going to focus so much on the Spanish in this video, but I wanted to relate a life lesson to some of you who are just starting your Spanish language journey. You know, I try to exercise every morning, and one time a week, I uh, focus on my mile time. So I try to see how fast I can run a mile. And, you know, I see some improvement. Every week I see a little improvement. But there's this weird phenomenon that happens when you're running or when I'm running a mile. So, you know, you start off and you're optimistic, and just before you hit a third of a mile, um, your physical capabilities start to wear down, or at least mine do. And you notice it, and suddenly that physical challenge where you can feel that your body is struggling, it starts to spill over onto the mental side. And you have all this information on the treadmill in front of you, because the treadmills these days give you so much information. You can look at the treadmill and say, oh gosh, I've only been going a few minutes. I still have whatever 5 minutes left. Can I really do this? Because it feels like I'm sprinting. Can I really sprint for 5 more minutes? And so that physical pain and adversity, it kind of influences your mental capacities, or your mental strength, your ability to kind of push through things mentally. And it's really a great example of how we are tested. And when you're learning Spanish, you will certainly have moments where you'll feel like you are being tested and tried, and you may not be able to go any further, and you might just give up. There are a lot of people that start speaking Spanish and they just stop because it's challenging. But remember, Spanish is one of the easier languages to learn, so you have that in your favor. I would just say that in those moments where the going gets tough, it's your opportunity to build your character and continue to push through. You know, there aren't very many successful people in this world who didn't encounter the very same thing. And their success is attributed to their ability to push right on through and keep going. Now, you don't necessarily know what the outcome will be. Maybe I won't run my mile as fast as I want to, but at least I will have pushed through, and I will have trained myself to push through adversity. And that's what's so important. There are a lot of really cool rags to riches stories about people that you probably know. One of them that comes to mind is Oprah, but there are all sorts of other ones. I think Howard Schultz, the guy who started and founded Starbucks, I think he's got a pretty amazing story. So there are all these stories about people who were literally born with nothing, and their parents were could barely afford to buy them food, or couldn't afford to buy them food. A lot of them lived in cars growing up, and a lot of them lived in really tough situations. And those people were able to channel their energies in such a way that there was a productive result, meaning they did something really amazing, and they produced something really amazing that was hugely valuable and helpful to people. And that's how they made it. So focus your energies and push through those difficult times. I try to design my program so that it anticipates those principles and those topics and those areas of the language that are most difficult, and we try to really break them down and make them easy to understand. Even with that, though, you're going to still encounter difficulties. It's going to be hard to remember the vocabulary sometimes. Sometimes the rules that we cover, they're complex, and it's going to be hard to remember what you studied the other day or what I told you the other day. But keep pushing through. The small steps forward that you are taking today don't always manifest themselves on a day-to-day basis. But in a month or a week, then a month, and then a year, you're going to look back and you're going to be amazed at the progress. So don't lose sight of that progress, okay? Take little steps each day. Make sure you are pushing forward a little bit each day, And someday in the future, probably 3 or 4 months from now, you're going to look back and say, wow, I have come a long way and I know a lot of Spanish. I'm really good at speaking Spanish. And I kind of like this language. I think I'm going to get even better. So hopefully that helps you. And if, again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at admin@espanishteacher.com or visit the website to learn more about my program. Adios.